You are completely limiting your own potential if you are spending your whole entire life trying to keep up with the Joneses and live on everybody else's watch. We spend far too much time in this day and age focusing on other people, what other people are doing, how they did that certain thing, how long it took them to get there. And we completely bypass the most important thing and the key element of how they've actually got to where they are. We are constantly trying to find a shortcut to success, and we're trying to find that in other people because we do not want to do the work and find it for ourselves. You are the only person with that secret sauce that is going to lead you to your purpose, your greatest purpose, and what you are supposed to be doing in this life. Nobody else is gonna have the answers to your problems, and you need to start focusing on yourself and staying in your own lane in order to find success in your life. The answers to everything that you need in life are within you. Every answer that you could possibly need is within you. And the thing is, we don't actually need to know everything. We don't always need to know every single answer all at once. Because otherwise, what's the point of life? Like, what is the point of living if we know the answer to everything? Our life's purpose is to go on the journey of life and to learn the lessons that we're supposed to learn and find out the revelations that we need to find out at the right time. It's all part of your divine path. But the problem that we're all faced with in this society is that rather than trying to connect with ourselves and find the answers within ourselves, try to be a little bit resourceful and not constantly try and go on TikTok to find the answer, we do exactly that. We go on TikTok and we try to find the answers to all of our problems. We go on YouTube, we try to find that one self-development video that is gonna completely change our whole entire life and our whole entire perspective on life. And that's probably because you've watched a YouTube video before and you found some insight in it that really resonated with you, and it altered your brain chemistry. It made you feel a different kind of way, and it probably motivated you to want to take action. And while that's great, while that's always got a place, it's so important to not focus on that and not to constantly fixate on what other people are doing and fixating on other people's content as a way to solve our problems. I've actually realized this for myself recently because I've kind of been stuck in cycles that are not serving me at all. I've fallen back into old habits that I thought that I'd kind of gotten over, if that's a thing. Like, I thought that I had stopped these old bad habits, but they slowly started creeping back into my life purely from a place of me being complacent and being a little bit lazy and thinking that I found the answers to everything and that I knew all the solutions to my problems and I basically knew it all. Oh no. The universe will always humble you in that respect. So I have definitely been tested recently with my kind of impulse control and my willpower. I've definitely fallen back into kind of like binge eating. Again, not as bad as I used to do, but I have been comfort eating, I've been emotionally eating, and I've noticed the negative impact that it's had on my life. It's been like a domino effect on my life. The more I eat bad foods and the more that I'm emotionally eating and numbing myself and avoiding all of my problems, the more I see that reflected in my life and the less energy that I have. And during a time like that, I noticed that the one thing that I do is, rather than going within and connecting with myself and asking myself what the problem is and how can I personally solve it, I didn't want to do that. Instead, I would just go on TikTok or I would go on YouTube or Instagram and try and find that one quote that was going to change my life. I was constantly relying on other people and influencers to give me the solutions to the problems that I am dealing with inside. And the reality is that people on YouTube can help you. I am not disputing that at all. And there is definitely so much value in YouTube and in social media as a whole in helping each other and sharing what we've learned with each other. But when it becomes a problem is when you are completely relying on that to help you out of a slump that you're in. It's almost as if when we're feeling so low and so emotional and in such a rut, we kind of want other people to kind of spoon feed us the information. We want other people to drag us out of that rut so that we don't have to do the hard work ourselves. But what I found personally is that no amount of YouTube or social media actually helped me deal with the deeper rooted things, and it took for me to actually start to connect with myself in order for me to realize what the problem is. Now, I'm not even going to claim that I'm fully out of this rut. I am still feeling the effects of the emotions that I've been experiencing over the past couple of weeks, but I've been making such a conscious effort over the past couple of days and over the weekend to really reconnect back with myself and to listen to what I actually need and what I actually want and what steps that I need to take in order to get to where I want to be. You're not going to find those answers from other people. You're going to have a little bit of guidance, but you're never going to find what you want on social media. So what I've found that really, really helps for me is to cut out social media, stop going on it incessantly to try and find answers to my problems, because I'm never going to find the answers that I need and I'm always going to end up being disappointed, and instead finding the time or making the time to connect with myself and to journal. I've been really enjoying just journaling my thoughts recently, journaling whatever comes to my mind, journaling even, you know, sometimes when you sit down and journal and you feel like you've got nothing to talk about because you just feel numb, you don't know what you're feeling because you're so disconnected from yourself. That's what it felt like for me when I first started trying to connect with myself again, because I'd just been ignoring everything that was going on within me for so long. But just giving myself that breathing space to allow myself to just talk freely, to type freely or write in my journal freely. I use all different methods depending on how I'm feeling, but it's really, really helped me just giving myself, scheduling in that time into my diary to just be with myself and to connect with myself. I'd felt this calling for so long. I'd felt like I needed to connect with myself, but I just didn't want to give myself the time. I didn't want to allocate that time because I knew that it would be a difficult process. It wouldn't be as easy as going on TikTok and getting a little bit of a dopamine boost. It's a little bit boring. It's probably not what you want to be spending your time doing, but guaranteed when you actually sit down after you've made that time, you've carved that time out in your schedule, it feels good just to have that space to breathe and just to talk and just to write down what you are truly feeling. Since I started doing all of that and connecting back with myself again, a lot of things actually have come to the surface. So from initially feeling quite numb and not really knowing what's wrong with me and feeling a little bit melancholic, I now have revealed certain things that were coming up in my life, certain patterns and certain lessons that I need to learn from. And I've allowed myself that space to truly work on that and to learn from the lessons of the past month. That's another thing. When we are disconnected from ourselves and we are trying to find the answers in somebody else, we are completely bypassing the lessons of our own life. You are going to learn the most valuable things from your own life experience. Your own life experience is going to trump anything that anyone on the internet can tell you. And when you're not listening to yourself, when you're not listening to what you actually need and learning from the lessons that you're going through, you're missing out on so much important information, so much information that is going to catapult you into your dream life, catapult you to success. It's so important to get quiet with yourself and just allow yourself that space to think about what you're feeling and just to ask yourself how you even are. Something else that I've felt really called to do recently is to really focus on regulating my nervous system again. I know that when I'm stuck in toxic cycles and I'm on social media all the time and I'm constantly comparing myself and I'm constantly thinking that I'm not doing enough because I'm comparing my life to other people's, I know that it's time to cut that out and just cut out all the stimulus, cut out all the noise and just be in silence for a little bit. I know that when you're stuck in toxic cycles and you're going on Instagram all the time and going on social media to try and find the answers to your problems and you're doing all the unhealthy habits that you don't want to be doing, it's so easy to just keep chasing that stimulation constantly, because that is what is arousing your mind. Like nothing else can really arouse your mind, because that's how social media is built. It's built to be addictive. So when you truly listen to your body and you listen to when you actually need to switch off, when you need to turn off social media and cut out all the bullshit and all the noise and just be with yourself, just be in silence. Allow your nervous system to regulate itself and just to calm down a little bit. Social media can get us so riled up, and all of the toxic habits that we have, so say if we're binge eating on really sugary processed foods, that's gonna make us feel really shit. And then on top of that, because we feel shit, we'll reach for the thing that is going to make us feel a little bit better, which is social media, because it's instant gratification. But when you actually start to listen to what your body needs and what your nervous system needs, you'll realize that you actually just need to be in silence and do nothing at all. I was speaking to my friend recently. She was talking about how she is wanting to solo date and go on more solo dates to the cinema and things like that, but she's just not really got the money. And she was telling me all these things that she wanted to do. She was saying that she wanted to go to cinema, she wanted to have trips away, she wanted to go away for New Year's, all these different different things. But it made me think, like, why is she wanting to do all of these things? Why does she need to spend all this money in order to solo date and to connect with herself and to build a relationship with herself? And I just asked her whether she was doing these solo dates to truly get to know herself, which was her initial intention, I believe, or whether she was doing these solo dates just as a means to an end, another distraction, another piece of stimulation. I was saying, like, you don't need to spend money to have a valuable solo date. You don't need to spend money to get to know yourself and build a relationship with yourself. The most important thing about a self-love journey and solo dating and things like that, it isn't always the going out for a meal by yourself or going to the cinema by yourself or going on trips away by yourself. I've done all of the above and it's great, but I feel like that's more work on confidence and being out alone in public by yourself. Because a lot of the time when you're solo dating, especially in the beginning, you're not focused on yourself truly. You're thinking about what other people are thinking about you. Definitely in the beginning, this is what I did. But the most valuable solo dates for me that I've found have been the ones where I have just been in my bedroom and just been connecting with myself and just being in silence and not doing anything at all. Sometimes the answer is to not do more things. Sometimes the answer is to just scale back a little bit and do less. It's so important to regulate your nervous system. And going on from that, asking yourself, what do you even want? What is it that you want in life? What is success to you? What does a successful life look like? If you're on social media all the time, you're seeing everybody else's successful life and you're thinking, oh, I want that because they look happy and I feel like that would make me happy, so I want that. But when you truly get deeper and you ask yourself, what do I actually want? What do I value? What would I want to be spending my time doing? How do I define success? And in what way am I happy to get there? A lot of people want success, but they don't want to put in the work that it takes to get a successful life. A lot of the time, the people who fast track to success are the ones who are doing everything on an extreme level, and you might not necessarily want that. This was something that I realized about myself, that I didn't want to have to push myself to do the very most all the time. I remember my friend she's always coming to me with like different things that she wants to try out, like 75 hard and different challenges that she wants to do, and it's all in that rushed, desperate energy to it's kind of like she wants to fast track to success. And I know exactly where she's coming from because I've done it all myself. Like, I have been in those cycles so many times where I have thought, oh, I'm gonna do this because this looks like a quick fix and a quick route to success. We're constantly trying to chase these shortcuts to success, but after doing those things, I found that that is not sustainable for me, and it always just ends up with me crashing down on the other end of the spectrum because I can't maintain it. So for me, when I started to really think about what a successful life looks like, it didn't look like working my ass off constantly and trying to work myself into the ground essentially to get this successful life, because I knew that I would be miserable if I did that. I knew that that wouldn't be a sustainable lifestyle for me. So what's the point of doing that and then reaching this milestone and then being like, oh, okay, so I've got to keep this up, have I? Otherwise I'm going to lose all the success that I've built. When I started truly asking myself what success looks like for me, I knew that it wasn't me doing any of that stuff, doing any of the extreme things in order to get success really quick. I knew that I wanted to do it in a way that is sustainable and doesn't drive me insane. But that might not be you. That might be completely the opposite for you. You might want to do these challenges. You might want to get the shortcut to success, and you might want to put your all into everything that you're doing so that you can reach your dream life quicker. That is completely fine. All of that is so fine, but you have to figure out what it is that you want and what success looks like to you. It is so important to trust the timing of your life. I know that our generation are relentless for comparing our lives to other people and to comparing our timelines to other people, especially as women, because we have this body clock where we need to get married and have babies at a certain age, otherwise we will miss our window, our fertile window to have babies. And I do think that puts a lot of pressure on us in terms of like finding the right man and finding the right relationship or whatever. I have found personally that that does not serve me whatsoever. Might it be correct that women do have a certain time frame in which they can have babies? Yes, but all I think that that does is just panic us. It puts us into a state of panic and desperation, and it makes us try to cling on to things that aren't truly meant for us. And then ultimately, all that does is slow down your success anyway. It slows down your path to where you need to be because you are in this desperate energy where you feel like you need to cling on to everything. Something that's helped me so much in my journey is having some kind of faith. And I used to be so cynical when it came to kind of religions and spirituality and things like that. I'm a very logical person, and I like to believe in science and things like that. I like things that are grounded and have facts and truth behind them. But I think when you think about this universe and this world that we live in, it would be so fucking stupid to think that anyone out there knows anything at all. Even the top scientists out there, they don't know anything at all. The top scientists back in the day thought that the earth was flat. Everyone believed that. Everybody thought that was the truth because the top scientists were saying it. Anyone else who thought any different was known as crazy. But then it later got discovered that the earth isn't actually flat and that the earth is a sphere and it is a planet. So based on that alone, it just made me realize like nobody knows anything at all. So why would you choose to believe that there is not a greater power out there, whatever it is, whatever you believe in? Why would you choose to not believe that there is something that is going to protect you? And there is something that wants the greatest life possible for you and that you can trust in. I don't know, that is my personal journey with faith and spirituality, and that is just where I'm at. But I just like to believe that there is something out there, a greater force that is protecting me. If you know me in real life, you will always hear me saying like, oh, the universe obviously didn't want that for me, or oh, the universe obviously doesn't want me to have that, or that's obviously not made for me, because everything that is made for me, I will get. It will come into my path. Having trust in the universe and having trust that every single thing that I go through, I grow through, has truly changed my whole perspective on life, and it's changed the way that I look at everything. Having trust that everything is going to work out exactly how it's supposed to work out, and what you can fathom as being your dream life, you're going to get that, if not so much more. You cannot even fathom how amazing life is going to get for you. And having a faith, having spiritual guidance really helps me through the darkest times of my life, because I just know that there is a reason for everything, and there is a reason that I'm going through this, because there is a lesson that needs to be learned. When I didn't used to think like this, I used to think that the whole entire world was out to get me. I used to think that everything was going against me and that there was something out there that just wanted me to fail in life. But I personally don't believe that to be true. And I personally believe that I am divinely guided to what I want in life. And just because I'm not seeing something in the same timeline as someone else is seeing something doesn't mean that it's not possible for me. And I think detaching from the expectation and the time frames that we put on things has really helped me. You cannot compare your life's progress and where you're at right now to somebody else's progress, because the reality is that they've not lived a life in your shoes, and vice versa. Some people have just been through a whole lot of shit, and it takes time to get through that. It takes time to heal from that and to be in a place where you feel like you have restored your nervous system, you've restored everything that you need to restore in order to have the energy and the power to work towards what you want to work towards. And I think this is why all of the extreme 75 hard and all the extreme challenges wouldn't work for me, because I personally have been in a place of survival for such a long time. I have been in a very fragile place, and me forcing myself to do these stupid fucking challenges and exhaust myself physically, mentally and emotionally on top of everything else that I was going through was just absurd. Like, I don't know why I thought that would ever be a good idea. And I think a lot of us get stuck into that same trap of doing these challenges and doing these difficult things because we want to fast track to success, but that's probably not your journey, babe. Your journey to success probably isn't going to be the overnight success that you see on YouTube, and that is completely fine. I think taking the pressure off having to have a certain thing by a certain time and just having faith in, if you want something bad enough, you are gonna get it, and you are divinely protected by whatever the hell you believe in, and you're gonna get that thing. But just taking the time frames off it, taking all of the expectation and all of the pressure off of it, and not comparing yourself to other people's journey, because other people have probably been through so many different things that have led them to where they are now. They've probably done so much more healing, so much more God knows what, in order for them to be where they're at right now. And you might still have a lot of healing to go through before you get to that point. That is completely fine. Trust in the timing of your own life and stop being so obsessive and controlling over it, and you are going to feel so much lighter, so much happier, and just be able to put all of your energy into what you actually want to do, what your purpose is, what you want to give to the world. Another question that I feel like you need to ask yourself is, are you even ready for the life that you say that you want? We say that we want this huge success, we say that we want all of this money, we want the relationship, we want the dream job, but are we actually ready for that? You're going to find that if you try to rush into things in life and you try to just push with so much resistance to what the universe actually wants for you, you're going to find that you're in situations that you're not quite yet equipped to deal with. If you are dealing with a scarcity mindset in relation to money, what do you think that you're going to do when you reach that success and you get all of that money? Your mindset isn't just going to change overnight because you've gotten that money. Your mindset is still going to be in a scarcity place. So if you're wanting to manifest more money into your life, that's something that you might have to work on. You might have to go through lessons in order to learn how to not have a scarcity based mindset. I was really getting myself down about the growth of my channel and thinking, right, well, I've done this for a year now. Other people had a YouTube channel for less than a year and they absolutely blew up and were doing amazing things. Why have I not got that yet? But when I got out of that mindset and I just took a step back and I zoomed out of it, I realized that these people who blew up in less than a year and they're doing amazing things and thriving, they have gone through their own path themselves. You do not know everything that they've been through to get to that point. So there is absolutely no point of me wasting my energy on comparing my journey to their journey, first of all. Second of all, I genuinely believe that there are certain lessons that we need to learn before we reach that certain thing that we want. And I, for one, am so grateful for that. I am grateful that the universe protects me in that way, that I have to go through certain things and learn certain lessons before I can get the outcome that I want. Because let's just say, for example, if I met my current boyfriend that I have now 5 years ago, I was in a completely different headspace back then. I had so many things and limiting beliefs that I had to work through. If I'd have met him back then, our relationship would not have lasted because I was not in the place to be in a relationship. I had to deal with my own stuff. I had to go on a self-love journey and I had to get to know myself, because that is something that I didn't do in my last relationship. And I do feel like, not saying that it was my fault at all, because I feel like everything happens for a reason, and obviously there was a whole other person in the mix who had their own things going on and reasons for why it ended. But I wasn't ready for a relationship back then, and I had to go through the heartbreak. I had to go through the year on my own and getting to know myself. I had to work on my attachment style. I had to work on how much I loved myself in order to be in a place where I could have this relationship that I was manifesting in. I am so grateful that I didn't meet my current boyfriend now 5 years ago, and that could have so easily happened, but it would have changed my whole entire life how it's panned out now. You just don't know what lessons that you need to learn in life until you've actually been through them. And I am truly grateful for all of the lessons that I've been through, because they have led me to where I am now. And I have so much faith that the lessons that I'm learning right now and all of the hardships and the things that I'm dealing with right now, I'm so confident and I have so much faith that they're going to work out and that things are going to be absolutely fine. But in order for me to manifest the things that I want to manifest, in order for me to grow this channel to as big as I want it to be, and in order to create a big, huge community, there are certain blocks that I have to work through within myself. I was working with a life coach not too long ago, and on one of our first sessions, I was saying how I'd not told anybody about my channel. I'd been doing my channel for about 8 months, and I'd not told anybody that I had a YouTube channel. And she said to me, how do you expect to grow on YouTube if you've quite clearly got a fear of being seen by your nearest and dearest? And that honestly truly blew my mind, because I was thinking, oh shit, that is so true. How am I expecting myself to grow my channel and to blow up on YouTube if I'm not even happy with people around me, people who are closest to me, knowing about what I'm doing? And once I did that, once I worked through that a little bit and made certain shifts, I I noticed that my views started getting higher. I noticed that my subscribers started growing a lot quicker. And there is just so many things, there's so many lessons in life that you need to learn from, but you have to live your life and you have to go through things and just be present in your life and enjoy it in the moment in order to learn those lessons. So to conclude all of that, I truly believe that there are things that you need to learn in this life before you can achieve the things that you want to achieve. The longer that you spend fixating on everyone else's life and figuring out how they did it and what they did and how long it took them, the longer it is going to take you to actually get to where you need to be. You have to put the focus back onto yourself and connect with yourself again and really get to know what you want in this life. That is genuinely the one thing that I feel like is holding so many people back from success, is this just incessant comparison to other people and being fixated to social media and being constantly on our phones and comparing our whole entire existence to people we don't even know, and we literally can only see the tip of the iceberg of their life. We are only seeing what they want us to see. Stop wasting your energy comparing your life to other people and just put the focus, put all of your energy back into yourself, getting to know yourself, getting to know what you want to do in this life and how you want to get there, learning from the lessons that life presents you and not being so resistant to it, not feeling like just because you're going through shit that the whole entire world is against you. A lot of the time when you go through shit, it's because you need to learn from that shit, and once you learn from that shit, the blessings that come after that are just indescribable. And I've experienced that so many different times in my life after several different rock bottoms, and it is truly the best feeling and it feels so whole circle. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if it resonated with you guys in any way. I've just felt such a strong urge to talk about this for a long time, and I just felt like I needed to stop trying to pretend that I had my shit together to get on camera, because I felt like I had to pretend that everything was going great in my life and everything was on the up and up in order for me to come on camera and give you guys advice. Because if I'm not a living, breathing testimony of what I'm telling you guys, then what reason do you have to listen to me? But the thing is, we are all human beings and we all go through the ebbs and flows of life, and that is completely normal. And I just want to share more of a vulnerable side of me to you guys, because it's not all sunshine and roses when you're trying to manifest your dream life. Things do go wrong, but that's all part of the journey and it is all so beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for supporting me. It means the world, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.